While bureaucratic bungling and botched procedures are costing lives and taxpayers billions in KZN, one medical unit has seen a drop in mortality rates. The centre, made possible by the Carte Blanche Making a Difference Trust, has become a beacon of hope.
18-month-old Vumile Sontashe and his mother Nokutula live in KwaMashu near Durban. In March this year, Nokutula got a panicked call from her neighbour, in whose case she'd left her son while she popped out to the shops. Vumile was desperately ill. Nokutula rushed home.
Umntwana ulele uphuma amanzi la emakhaleni anento engathi ihlaza iyelo kanjalo. Phuma nangendlebe, iphuma ngomlomo, mehlo nje amhlophe aphequkile athe.
Frantic, she hurried Vumile to the BHP Billiton Paediatric Centre of Excellence at King Edward VIII Hospital. She'd taken him there before when he had a cold and had to be nebulized. She knew they had the equipment to help.
By the time he arrived at the unit, he was limp, convulsing, and his airways were blocked. The little boy was not doing well.
Dr. Shashikant Ramji heads the paediatric department at the hospital. He says they diagnosed organophosphate poisoning, the key ingredient in a new rat poison being sold on the streets.
It's bought from unauthorized dealers, but this is the first case where we've had a patient presenting in such a serious condition.
The poison is mixed with food and left out for rats to eat.
Upoison ubekwe ngaphansi kwereki yamazambane. Shuthi mayingena lo wami khutheleke lo wami isikhathi esiningi uyakuthanda ukudlala. Shuthi adonse le plate alibone. Adle bisimbona ingane yakhona ena 9 years.
A year ago, Vumile would have had to have been transferred to another hospital. But he was given an antidote in the centre's emergency room, put on a ventilator for 24 hours and treated for a further 5 days.
The acute admission unit, where young patients are brought to be resuscitated, is probably the most important addition to the paediatric department. And almost every day, a child is treated here.
You know, our old unit was a little worktop for resuscitation. Now, when you resuscitate, you need to work all around the patient. The old unit allowed us to work from one side only, which made resuscitation quite difficult.
The centre, built and equipped by the Carte Blanche Making a Difference Trust, is a year old. It's made all the difference to the King Edward Hospital complex, a largely dilapidated facility where conditions were not conducive to recuperation.
The circumstances we work under now are, I would call, ideal.
Doctors and nurses threw a small party to mark the occasion.
While it's a modest celebration, the team here have a lot to celebrate. It's been quite a year.
The new centre sees an incredible 2,000 children a month, among them the most desperately ill in KZN and even parts of Mpumalanga and the Eastern Cape.
Odokotela babesebenza ngendlela eyisimangaliso.
While bureaucratic bungling and botched procedures, often in childbirth, are costing patients in KwaZulu-Natal their lives and taxpayers $1 billion in negligence claims, the paediatric mortality rate at King Edward VIII is dropping.
For the last 12 months, it's been the lowest that we have had. It's under 3%, which is quite outstanding.
It's a draw card for interns and registrars looking to specialize. Kebalepile is a first-year intern.
It makes learning easier because we're still in the learning phase. We just finished our medical degree. We want to learn as much as possible, get to do procedures. We do procedures here that we wouldn't do anywhere else because of a lack of resources.
After his stint at the unit, Aaron says he's seriously considering becoming a paediatrician. Candice Royal is a second-year registrar. She worked at other state hospitals and couldn't wait for her transfer to King Edward so she could have a chance to work in the new centre.
What does it do for you as a pediatric doctor, knowing that you have the equipment here that allows you to save these lives?
There are many times in our training that we feel demoralized by lack of resources or by working in an environment that is difficult. And being able to work here and seeing how things can be done in the public sector really lifts our spirits.
The building's circular design ensures there's a watchful eye on the little patients at all times, with every bay visible from the nurse's station. Morale seems high.
The nursing staff especially have a great sense of teamwork. They're very proud of being here.
12-year-old diabetic Andile has been coming here with her great-aunt Esme Madansela since she was 6. She injects herself with insulin 4 times a day.
When you are a diabetic, you get a certain amount of insulin based on your activity and your diet and things like that. But it doesn't cater for unusual events.
Last month, Andile had to be resuscitated at acute admissions after eating fried chips loaded with hidden sugars. She went into diabetic shock. Esme says staff at the BHP Billiton Centre saved her life.
What we've got now is a small heaven.
Esme says the nurses here have educated her on how best to manage Andile's diabetes and showed us her packed lunch.
What she must eat. I even got cucumber here, lettuce,
All healthy food.
healthy food.
You're so lucky you've got a granny that loves you so much.
But she's going to give me stress.
Vumile is also well on the way to recovery, even though the sight of the mark left by the drip made him dissolve into tears. Candice was on duty the day he was brought in. 2 months later, there's no sign of neurological damage.
Oh, he looks beautiful. He's stunning. We're thrilled.
And even though she's pregnant, Candice has decided not to transfer to ward duty because diseases are so well controlled at the centre.
We've got isolation cubicles, so we are able to isolate our infectious children in a very nice, sunny, clean environment.
While BHP Billiton's funding took care of the building, sponsors donated state-of-the-art equipment, materials, labour, and even games like this curling mat donated by Matco. It helps children recover from bone and muscle damage. According to King Edward's new CEO, Dr. Hugh Gosnell, a new medical school and teaching hospital are being planned which will further rejuvenate this rather run-down area of Durban.
It's the best design I've ever seen for a paediatric unit. And if we could achieve the same thing in the new academic hospital and university complex, the same quality of design, the same impact on our staff and patients, I'd be very happy.
BHP Billiton was the principal sponsor for this centre and donated another 5 million rand to create a paediatric ICU in Kimberley in 2009. Recently, BHP topped up the kitty for Kimberley by giving our trust another 450,000 rand to purchase a specialised oscillating ventilator for the Kimberley ICU.